Welcome, I'm Todd Robbins. August 14th, a number of wretched things happen on this day. Here's just a few of them. In 1936, Rene Bethea, an American murderer, is hanged in Owensboro, Kentucky. What's significant about this is the last public hanging in the United States. There were executions happened, there were hangings after this, but this is the last one that was done for the public. It originally was supposed to be done in the grounds of the prison, but they had just planted flowers, and building the gallows and everything was going to destroy that, so they moved it outside of the prison and did it there. In 1941, Joseph Jacobs, a German spy, was executed in the Tower of London. Now this is interesting. 1941, also on this day, Saint Maximilian Kolbe, I guess, was killed, executed by the Nazis. He was a Polish martyred saint because he did so much for the Polish resistance. And published all kinds of writings, anti-Nazi writings. They didn't like that. And he is the patron saint of amateur radio operators, of drug addicts, of political prisoners, of families, of journalists, of prisoners, and of the pro-life movement. On this day in 1980, Dorothy Stratton, a very beautiful young woman, was murdered by her estranged husband. She was 20 years old. She was a playmate of the month of August of 1979, actress and a model. Terrible. There was been a number of works, TV, movies, and things like that done about her life and demise. On this day in 1851, the birth of Doc Holliday, a gambler and gunfighter and dentist. That's why he's Doc Holliday. You didn't know he was a dentist, did you? Yes, my huckleberry. He was born in Griffin, Georgia on this day, died in 1887. On this day in 1040 AD, King Duncan I of Scotland is killed in battle against his first cousin and rival, Macbeth. He was not murdered in his sleep as depicted in the Shakespeare play of the same name. Macbeth later goes on to succeed him as king. On this day in 1281, the head of the Mongols, Kublai Khan, he tries to invade Japan with a fleet of 3,500 vessels. It didn't go well. A typhoon came up and destroyed the fleet before it got to Japan. Complete loss, 3,500 vessels. On this day, in very happy day, in 1945, it is VJ Day. It is victory in Japan. The end of World War II was announced, and on this day, or the 15th, depending upon the time zone. And there were all kinds of celebrations all over the place, including one that was rather amazing that happened in Chicago. There were riots. No, it's not Chicago. It was San Francisco, and I'll tell you more about that on another time. It was several people killed because most of this were sailors that were supposed to be being shipped off to Japan, but were so overjoyed that they weren't going to have to fight. They went nuts. They got drunk and they tore up the town, and a bunch of people were killed. On this day, in the same year, 1945, Ho Chi Minh launched a uprising against the French in Vietnam. That didn't end well. And on this day, 1997, Timothy McVeigh, the man responsible for the bombing in Oklahoma City, is sentenced to death by the Court of Appeals. On this day in 2003, there was widespread power outage, blackout, all throughout the northeast of the United States and up into Canada. Remember it well. It was a very hot day, hot night. And what was interesting was that when the lights went out, I live here in Hell's Kitchen, right near Times Square. And all of the people that were in the hotels, and it was packed, height of the tourist season, couldn't get back in their rooms because they all used electric, keys to get in, as opposed to a real key, those little key cards. And because the power was out, they couldn't get back in the rooms and had to sleep outdoors on Times Square. It's quite a scene. Anyway, and on this day in 2018, a Pennsylvania grand jury alleges 300 predator priests abused more than 1,000 children over 30 years, and the Catholic leaders covered it up. It was the result of a 2-year investigation. Well, there you go, and there you have it. If you've enjoyed this video, well, by all means, like the video and subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification button there so you'll be told when the next video will be creeping towards you. And that is if you survive this day and all the wretched things that will be happening to you. And if you do survive, I hope to see you back here. And if you don't survive, well, do me a favor if you would. If you have the opportunity as you're dying, and there are people around you, with your last breath, say a name, some random name, like Rolando or Martha. Someone you don't know. Just say a random name and then close your eyes and pass away. And just leave them wondering, who the hell was Rolando? Who the hell was Martha? Yeah. Always keep them guessing. Once again, I'm Todd Robbins, and good luck.